Hello again, Ian Stokey with Mastermind Games, and this time, Cephalyx Overlords from the Mercenaries faction of Warmachine. Starting off 09116, Brilliant Blue. This is actually a simpler paint scheme than the last one I did because 3 models and they all have very few colors and there's not much of anything in the way of fancy shading. This is a metal sculpt, and the Cephalyx Overlords are the leaders of the Cephalyx race. As far as has been revealed, only the Warcasters rank higher. But psychic powers all around. And yeah, it's about all there is to them. They describes a mid-ranged magic unit, basically. It's been a while since I've been able to use my Cephalyx, in part due to changes to the theme forces. This is the last thing I need to paint before I can dust them off and play them again. But yeah, I can't remember if they still have the ability to add models to drudge units with their melee attacks or not, but like I said, it's been a while. But in the current Cephalyx theme force, they are basically free. You can add 1 unit per every, I think it's 30 points worth of Cephalyx drudge, or Cephalyx units and solos. Might just be Cephalyx drudge unit. It's been a while, like I said. This is my 2nd unit of Overlords. So I did kind of switch up the arms. I don't know how satisfied I am with that though, but I'm just going to roll with it. And this is going faster, at least on the rough right now. And rough is the word for it. I'm just doing this first coat quickly, so it covers the bulk of the models, and I'll be picking out more colors and details as I go along. So, okay. I'm going to go ahead and let that dry and then move on in a bit. Okay, next color, 09011 leaf green. And this is going to be their secondary color. Just because I feel like it. Okay, let that dry and move on a little bit. Alright, where is it? 09197 Old Bronze is next. Just being thorough here. Now, here's where it gets a little funky. Let's see how we're going to do this. You know, it looks like his entire head's in this case encased in the machinery. Which, given the backstory, makes perfect sense since they augment their brains with machinery to increase their powers. Okay, and that's good for him. Yeah, it's just a little odd. This one has the two little devices on its hip, but the other one doesn't. Huh. It looks like his shoulders are more armor than the other two. And he's got a metal arm ending and a drill up top there. Okay. Let that dry, and then there's one more base coat and I can start shading. Okay, last base coat. No, that's not it. 09206 Tarnished Steel. This one's about shot. I need a little low. Again, such lovely sounds when these things are almost out of paint. Alright, that might do it. Okay, so blades, the needle on the syringe. The drill bit. Another syringe. And a whole bunch of blades that look like they'd be more at home in a butcher shop than a surgery, or what is the word I'm looking for, than in a laboratory or on a surgical table. I think operating theater is the word I was looking for. Just came about a minute too late. I have no idea what this kind of blade would be used for. It's like half of a circular saw. Okay, well, let that dry and move on to shading. Okay, 09037 pure black. This cap does not fit quite right. These models are also technically hovering above the ground. Just the barest stand area there, for lack of a better word. And I just nicked the wrong piece. A little bit of diluted water, a little bit of water, I'll just knock that out. I'm just a little tired, I'm okay. It's feeling kind of funny, I don't know what's up. And then 09205 Blackened Steel. Which is another color that's almost out. About half paint, half water, give or take. Okay, and I need to let that dry before moving on. But what I can do is take pure white 09039 and get started on the arcs, since those are going to be a light color. Again, Warmachine does rely on a front arc, which is the front 180 degrees or front half of the base. The rules specifically say if the arcs are not otherwise marked to go off the model's shoulders. In this case, since he's facing and pointing, I'm doing his arc based on the direction he's actually facing. Okay. Next shading once that's dried. Okay. Looks like it's working again. Oh boy. Alright, age Pewter 09196. Need a little more than that. That is not the correct brush. That is. Gotta be a little more careful on him because I want this to hit the bronze, not the steel. Okay, let that dry and move on. Okay, next color, Pine Green 09010. That hit his collar a little too much. Okay, and get started on the lighting effects with 09039 pure white. And really that's just going to be the eyes or the eye holes in their masks, the lenses here. That's got too much water in it. Let's try that again. And they have 3 lenses each, at least on these two. This guy here has more, I think. Yep. He has, looks like 5. 1 dead center. 2 on each side. Okay, let that dry and move on a little bit. Okay. 09101 ruby red. And that got a little out of hand there. And 09115 Ritterlich blue. Need to take a little more caution with this. I need it on the cloth here, not anywhere else. Which is a bit tricky, given the placement of the arms, especially. And it's so hot right now, this is drying almost instantly. Almost. Again, it's more about the heat and humidity of your working environment affecting the paint. So some of the areas on that last guy are already drying. But generally the hotter and less humid it is, the faster your paints are going to dry, at least using the water-based acrylics I use. Had a friend that used oil paints on her miniatures, and those would take forever to dry. And 09008 Sun Yellow will go ahead and get the orcs ready. And this is jammed. That's why I have the paperclip on hand. I don't actually need to worry as much about nicking feet since they don't actually have any. Camera. Okay. One of these days I'll get used to actually painting on camera. The question is, will it be before or after I get a camera that lets me improve my videos with first-person point of view? Okay, let that dry and start highlighting. Okay, time to finish this up. Let's see here. 09117 Cyan Blue. So, got the latest issue of No Quarter Prime in the mail today. I've been subscribing them, hoping they get their sites fixed soon, so I'm pretty sure that was the last issue of this year's subscription for me, but focus on the new Crucible Guard faction. And I would say the Crucible Guard would probably have an interest in learning Cephalyx technology. Especially since they have a warcaster addicted to a serum of his own design that made him a warcaster artificially, and his wife who basically hulks out. That's just musings. Really looking forward to the second edition of Monster Apocalypse coming out this fall, which I will definitely be getting because that was one of my favorite games before it went on indefinite hiatus. And yeah, that's about it as far as that goes. Which is a little trickier to highlight because of the positioning of the arms, but that's okay. Focus is always on the more obvious areas anyway, so... yeah. What's actually hilarious about Crucible Guard is one of their warcasters, basically a guy dragging his manservant into battle with him, who acts as a caddy, hauling a buffet of firearms for him to pick from. There's not a whole lot of implied humor in Warmachine, which is what makes the Grimkin seem so out of place as a faction. But you gotta laugh at a guy forcing his butler into combat, overburdened with an insane amount of firearms, essentially acting as a glorified gun-toting golf caddy. Yeah, allergy season is in full swing again for the second half of summer. There's nothing I can do about it. Alright, and 09012 pale green. Yes, highlighting is going faster than in the last few videos, just smaller areas to worry about. Kind of nicked the back of his robe there. I'll just touch that real quick. Dry that thoroughly. I only have 2 colors left, actually. (09198) Tarnished brass. Again, concerning myself primarily with the most readily visible surfaces. It's been a long day. Again, I'm having a little trouble speaking cohesively. Okay, that is actually it for the highlighting. So, just take a quick rearranging here. Throw out the cutting mat and get the arcs finished up. So pure black 09037. So I'm going to center that the way I want it. Try that again. Bit of paper stuck to it, probably from the towel I had it resting on earlier. Just going to get the edges first. Make sure to wipe off any excess that gets onto the mat itself. Again, I want this to last as long as possible. With a slightly larger brush, just go ahead and backfill the rest of the base. Yeah, allergy season, there's not a whole lot I can do about it. Okay, I just realized I forgot one color I need to highlight, but that's okay, it's easy to get. Oh boy. Yeah, I think my brain blew a fuse at work today. So 09207 True Silver. That's the last color, and this will be a quick, easy one, fortunately. Because all it goes on is the blades, claws, etc. This is something of an awkward grip, but that's okay. Okay. Now it's fixed, so let that dry, and then I can finish up the basing. Okay, next step, 09039 Pure White. Got to get the models marked and ready, so I can tell them apart quickly and easily. Because this is my second unit. Roman numeral 2. That does not look so good. Let's kind of rub that off and try again real quick, because that didn't look very... I am using 2 words when 1 will do. Two, and model A has too much water in it, so it's bleeding, so we'll just blot that a bit and try it again. A. And B. And this is not easy to do with a paintbrush, because the brush is flexible, so it takes a lot of practice to be able to write like this. And C. It's not that pretty, but it does work well enough. So once that's dried, I can add the flock. Okay. Time to get this flocked. Let's see, base materials in camera, good. So, white glue, generous amount of it. Where'd it go? And plenty of water. Sacrificial brush, because this will wear it out faster. And in this case, one that's getting kind of beat up will be fine. And I'm just carefully painting around the base of the model, avoiding the feet, which is not much of an issue in this case since they're kind of floating off the ground. Now, I've talked about slot bases like these before, and they're most common now with metal models. But tape up around the, put masking tape around the gaps, and that'll help catch the solution and the flock so that it doesn't go through the bottom, as you can kind of see here with the tape. And then taking another brush, preferably a dry one, just knock the excess flock away from where you don't want it, and that's an odd kind of chip. I don't know what that is all about, but we'll just give them another dip and fix it. And repeat for the other two models. And always stir rather than just dip right in. That helps get more glue on your brush and less water. And straight glue will not work. It's not going to flow in and around the feet. You need to have it watered down and diluted. I just realized I used two synonyms. Working for Walmart is taking away my ability to speak language. Any language. Okay. Not so much to brush away on this fella. Okay, it just needs to sit a bit and then I can do the last step and finish up. Alright, last step. Scenic cement. Mix it up real good. And I keep misplacing that eyedropper, I don't know how. And glass is better than plastic for eyedroppers on this because this stuff will bond to plastic much quicker and, well, ruin it sooner. So carefully dripping it in, and the reason we gotta wait on this is if this doesn't set first, dripping it down will push the flock around, which will just leave gaping holes in your basing material. It's doubly true if you're using sand or artificial snow or, well, rocks. Talus is the technical term for rock debris too, so, or a technical term, I guess, so. Does a pretty good job of soaking it right up, and this will give it a rock hard finish and keep it in, or rather on the base and not anywhere else. Cleaning the equipment thoroughly when done. And that is it. Cephalyx Overlords from the Mercenary faction of Warmachine. Got one last, but this guy is not coming to focus. I'm gonna have to see if I can fix that. Oh boy, well, one last Cephalyx model left, and then a couple more Warmachine models before moving on to something else. Until next time, I am Ian Stuckey with Mastermind Games, signing out.